We're Vickers Roofing. We keep the rain where it belongs, outside. That covers a lot of ground, from fixing a simple leak to putting a whole new roof over your head. We handle pretty much every kind of roofing material you can find around here, from asphalt shingles to metal, even the odd tile or slate job. We also do some specialized stuff like skylight work, attic ventilation, and gutters. Basically, if it's over your head, we've got you covered. Well, now that depends on what you mean by fix. A leak in the attic is like a symptom, not the disease itself. You can stick a bucket under it, but that's just managing the water, not stopping it. The real question is, where's that water coming from? Is it a flashing gone bad around a vent pipe, a cracked shingle, ice damming? Those are all DIY possible, though I'd advise caution if you're not comfortable working at heights. A fall off a roof can ruin your whole week. But sometimes that leak's a sign of something bigger: rotted sheathing, mold growth, or even structural damage from years of moisture. Those are jobs for a professional. Ignoring those can lead to a much bigger and pricier headache down the road. So, can you patch it yourself? Maybe. Should you? That depends on what you find when you start digging. Well, you've hit the nail on the head there. Even with the best materials, a poor installation is just setting yourself up for problems down the road. It's like using top-shelf lumber to build a crooked deck. Doesn't matter how good the wood is if the structure's unsound. So, what exactly were you thinking of tackling yourself? Knowing what you're up against is half the battle. Different problems call for different solutions, and some are definitely easier to mess up than others. What kind of material are we talking about? And where's the trouble spot? Knowing that will help me give you a straight answer on whether it's a DIY job or not. Sounds like you've got a bit of a roofing potpourri there. Skylights, chimneys, shingles, old tar. That's a recipe for potential headaches, especially around here with the weather we get. Now, shambles is a broad term. The real question is, how deep does the rot go? Is it just cosmetic, or are we talking about structural damage? A neglected skylight, for example, is a classic entry point for water, which can then spread and weaken the surrounding decking. Same goes for a chimney. If the flashing's shot, you're looking at potential damage to the framing around it. And old tar, well, let's just say it doesn't get better with age. It dries, cracks, and becomes about as waterproof as a sieve. Given that you've got multiple potential problem areas, a comprehensive inspection is really the only way to get a handle on the situation. We're talking about a full assessment of the roof deck, flashing, ventilation, and drainage. Without that, you're just guessing. We charge a non-refundable $250 diagnostic and dispatch fee for priority assessments, which is credited toward the final repair cost. If you're interested, we can get someone out there to take a look and give you a clear picture of what you're dealing with. You can book an appointment online, or give the office a call to find a time that works for you. What's easiest for you? Well, that's the $64 question, isn't it? We've been patching roofs around Hope since before some of these houses were even built. So yeah, I'd say we're pros. But being a pro in this business isn't just about slapping on shingles. It's about understanding how all those different elements you mentioned, the skylight, chimney, shingles, and that old tar, are supposed to work together to keep the water out. And more importantly, knowing what happens when they don't. From what you're describing, you've got a mixed bag of potential problems. Skylights and chimneys are notorious trouble spots if the flashing isn't done right. Old tar, that stuff can get brittle over time and crack, leaving you vulnerable. And shingles, well, they just wear out eventually. The real question is what's going on underneath all that. Has water been getting in? Is there rot? That's what determines whether you're looking at a simple patch job or something more extensive. A basic shingle replacement on a section of roof might run you in the $500 to $1,000 range, but that's assuming the decking underneath is solid. If we have to tear out and replace rotten plywood, the price goes up accordingly. The only way to know for sure is to get up there and take a look. We can send someone out to do a full inspection, give you a detailed report, and a firm quote. You can schedule that through the online form, or call the office if you'd rather talk to someone directly. Which works best for you? Alright, a 2,500 square feet bungalow with a 4/12 pitch. That gives me something to work with. Now, a full roof replacement on a house that size, you're realistically looking at somewhere in the $18,000 to $35,000 range. That's a broad range, I know, but here's why. The biggest factor is the shingle type. A basic 3-tab asphalt shingle will be on the lower end, while architectural or designer shingles will push you towards the higher end. Then there's the underlayment. Are we talking standard felt paper or a synthetic higher performance option? That adds to the material cost. Accessibility is another thing. Is your bungalow easy to get to, or are there tight spaces and landscaping to navigate around? That affects labor time. And of course, we won't know for sure until we tear off the old roof. But the condition of the underlying decking is a big question mark. If there's a lot of rot or water damage, that needs to be addressed before we can even think about putting on new shingles, and that adds to the cost. The only way to get a real firm number is to get up there, take a look at everything, and give you a detailed, line-item quote. That's just the honest way to do it. We can schedule an inspection and get someone out there to give you a proper assessment. Would you like to arrange that? Alright, student, let's talk roofing. Forget all the marketing nonsense. This is about physics and craftsmanship. Your roof is a system, plain and simple. It's designed to do one thing: shed water. Think of it like a carefully engineered waterfall. Every layer, every angle, every material choice is there to make sure gravity does its job and water goes down and away from your house. Now, the technology, that's where it gets interesting. You've got a few key layers to consider. The decking. This is the foundation. Usually plywood or OSB, nailed to your rafters or trusses. It's got to be solid and dry because everything else depends on it. Think of it as the concrete slab for your waterfall. If it's rotted or weak, the whole system fails. Underlayment. This is your backup. A layer of felt or synthetic material that goes on top of the decking. It's there to protect the wood from moisture before the shingles go on, and to provide an extra barrier if a shingle gets damaged. It's like the sealant you put on a shower floor before tiling, the shingles or whatever your top layer is. This is the visible part, the armor. Asphalt, metal, tile, whatever. Each material has its pros and cons in terms of cost, lifespan, and weather resistance. But the key is how they're installed. Overlapping, interlocking, sealed. It's all about creating a watertight surface that can withstand wind, rain, snow, and sun. That's your actual waterfall surface, carefully designed with overlaps to channel the flow. Flashing. This is where the magic and the potential problems happen. Flashing is metal, usually aluminum or steel, used to seal around chimneys, vents, skylights, and any other penetration in the roof. It's the most critical part of the system because these are the areas where water is most likely to get in. A roof is a sealed system. A single bad flashing is like a pinhole in a ship's hull. Ventilation. This is the unsung hero. Proper ventilation allows air to circulate under the roof, keeping it cool in the summer and preventing moisture buildup in the winter. Without it, you're asking for trouble, rot, mold, and a shorter lifespan for your shingles. Think of it as the climate control system for your waterfall, preventing ice dams and algae growth. Each of these technologies plays a vital role. The trick is understanding how they all work together and knowing what can go wrong. That's where experience comes in. That's where we come in.